So today I wanted to talk about the declaration of Mae Christle. And I'm going to read this to you. On May the 4th, 2006, I, through my attorney, Bradley Gage of the law offices of Goldberg and Gage, filed a complaint against the city of Los Angeles alleging, among other things, that after compiling information in the summer of 2005 pertaining to the LAPD's investigation of the murder of Christopher Wallace, my computer was taken from my desk, and I believe that evidence was purged because I had inputted information into my computer that LAPD officers were involved in the murder of Christopher Wallace. This lawsuit was tried in September of 2007, and a verdict was returned in my favor in the amount of over $1 million. I did not begin working on the Wallace civil case in any capacity until the summer of 2005. I've never had any direct contact and or contact via third parties with persons by the name of Kenneth Boagney and or Waymond Anderson. I have never placed any documents relating to the Wallace investigation inside the desk of Detective Stephen Katz or any other person working for the Los Angeles Police Department, City of Los Angeles, or other entity. So let's break down this declaration of Mae Christle. One thing that we know, she did file a lawsuit. She did win a judgment over $1 million. She never looked at anything until the summer of 2005. The reason she's making this declaration is because Waymond Anderson, in his testimony, or in his deposition and I guess testimony in the Wallace Civil Trial, had seen together Kenneth Boagney, had seen together Mae Christle, and so this is to directly refute the Waymond Anderson testimony. Now, Waymond Anderson has reached out and he has refuted his own testimony. He said that he was being coerced by City Attorney Don Vincent, and that Don Vincent told him that he was targeting Waymond's family, and that if he didn't cooperate, his family was going to be targeted, and he was going to be banished to the nethermost parts of the prison system. And so Waymond himself has refuted that testimony. Now, the only time Waymond Anderson took a lie detector test and passed was his original testimony to Russell Poole. And that was the original time that Russell Poole had interviewed Waymond Anderson. Waymond Anderson's cell phone was found inside the offices of Death Row Records. That cell phone was being used in the Christopher Wallace murder. And that's what brought Waymond Anderson into this case. Waymond Anderson was in prison at the time of the murder of Christopher Wallace, but a cell phone that was registered to him was used in the murder, and that cell phone was found in the offices of Death Row Records. That's what brought him into this case. And so we know that Rafael Perez, David Mack, Kevin Gaines were there the night of the Peterson. We know Rafael Perez kicked the shell casings. He was actually on duty at the time of the Christopher Wallace murder. And so this declaration of Mae Christle is an important document which I am going to release. I will include in the show notes a link to this document so that you can download this document and look at it yourself. Now, I reached out to somebody who knows Mae Christle, and I said, tell me about her. And what I was told was this is one of the good ones that LAPD let get away from the department. In other words, Mae Christle is an upstanding and was an amazing, addition to the LAPD, and LAPD drove her out of the department with their shenanigans. Now, keep in mind too that Russell Poole interviewed Waymond Anderson, And later that night, after he had interviewed, Waymond was staying somewhere where LAPD had access to him. Rafael Perez came into Waymond Anderson's cell there and threatened him and said, "If you speak about this, you will be killed." And so Waymond Anderson then, didn't want to speak anymore about this. And so we're getting some insights into what happened with these cases. Anyway, more later.